Hi, I'm Bethlyn Gerard, and I'm with Ann McGee Cooper. And I'd like to tell you a little bit about Ann before she talks about her experience with Healing Touch. Ann is an author, college professor, owner of her own consulting company, and she's had this extraordinary lifestyle of yoga and Ayurveda, and she's just really meticulous in my experience with her self-care. I met Ann after her breast cancer surgery. Dr. Claudia Harsh brought me into her care. We've had over 20 sessions of Healing Touch. Most of those have been in conjunction with medical acupuncture and frequency-specific microcurrency happening at the same time. And now I'd like Ann to tell you her experience of that.
My experience has been amazing and very, very positive. I had, although I had very few symptoms of negative symptoms from chemotherapy, I did have some pretty serious edema in my ankles and lower legs that lasted for at least 3 months, and there was appreciable improvement after every treatment. It was as though the lymph system opened up and began to work vigorously, and the tightness in my legs released. Other clear indicators I felt that were beneficial was my energy shifted. I felt that the blockage in my overall energy system had been removed, and I could just feel open and a vitality after each session. I noticed that I slept better. My intuition clarified. It was as though blockage was removed and my overall grounding was made stronger and better. It was a very, very positive experience, and we did it twice a week early on and then moved to once a week, but there was no question in my mind, but each time we worked, I felt there was a distinct difference between how I came in and how I left, and that improvement stayed with me. It wasn't like a 24-hour wonder. It reminded me to be tuned into my body and not get back into a revved up kind of lifestyle, but it really helped open up my healing capacity in a way that was really phenomenal for me.
One of the things I find extraordinary about Ann is that she kept up a full working schedule through her chemotherapy, and it's not just in one office in one city.
Well, that's true. I have clients in many other cities and often fly, and so I used a eucalyptus oil. It's something called supernacia in my sinuses. I've done it every morning for 21 years, and it protects you from bacteria or viruses. But it also deepens your intuition, and one thing you helped me realize is I'm very keenly tuned into my body. I know when something's not as it should be. It talks to me, and I think that's really valuable. And I did learn, even though you're right, I kept my full schedule and didn't have to cancel anything because of the surgery or chemo. I'm more mindful of when I'm tired, and I give myself those times to rest. I make sure I get a full 8 hours of sleep, and if my body says you need a rest period or a nap, I take that. But I have been able to continue to do all the work we do, which is consulting with top executive teams of very fast-moving firms, and we're helping them with servant leadership and learning to move into their full genius potential. So actually that was a plus, because my clients were very supportive. If I needed to sit while I worked instead of stand while I worked, that wasn't a problem. I always knew I could excuse myself and go lie flat on my back in a conference room with the light off if I needed to. I didn't need to do that. And I think the other extraordinary story, there were a couple of things. I went to have my annual checkup for my contact lenses, and when I told her I had just experienced 4 rounds of chemo, she was astounded. My vision didn't deteriorate, and she said it typically does, but it was improved from 2020 to 2013. And when I went to have my annual hearing, exam, they too said typically you have some deterioration in your more hearing loss. And while there was some, it was not remarkable. It was very small, and she was pretty astounded that I had retained my hearing at the level that I had.
What about brain fog? We hear that a lot in chemo.
There's been no brain fog. No, I haven't had that at all. I guess there were two symptoms, well, three. I did lose my hair, and it's coming back nicely. The nails on my left hand, the roots of the nails did die, and that's about to grow out. The most limiting was the edema in my legs, and because I practice yoga daily for almost 22 years, I really noticed lack of flexibility. That's coming back, but it was as though all of my tendons and muscles got dry and brittle, and I just lost the stretch in them. But that was significantly enhanced by the treatments. Again, I wasn't trying to be superwoman. I was really trying to respect what is my body ready to do. But my work is such a blessing, something that I love, and the people I serve are people that I respect and admire and enjoy supporting, and they support me with their prayers. That to continue my work was a blessing and really helped my recovery. And clearly, having so many people hold me in their prayers, there's no question but that was a big part of the healing.
Absolutely. All hands on deck. Ayurveda, yoga, essential oils, medical acupuncture, surgery, chemo, healing touch was a part of that, and I'm blessed to be a part of it. And being vegan
for 21 years, and that really has helped me too. So, but I'm a huge advocate of healing touch. I'm astounded and amazed, but without question, it seemed to strengthen and unify all of my healing systems and help my body be vigorous in its response to healing from the cancer and then from the chemotherapy, because that's a challenge. But it's gone very well. I had no nausea, certainly no brain fog, none of the other problems, and I feel blessed.
Well, it's so generous of you to tell your story so that other people can learn and we can get the word out. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Namaste.